Californian sea lion. He's 9 years of age. He was born in Stuttgart Zoo in Germany, but has been living here in Australia all of his adult life. So Mitchie is a very well-travelled seal. But there is one thing about Californian sea lions that make them stand out from every other seal species, and that is... That's right, he still has his American accent. Oh no, that's pretty bad. All jokes aside though, all seals fall under one name, which is pinniped, and it simply means winged foot. Lovely, thank you for that. Now, those front flippers are great for seals in the water.
Is that good?
They're just as amazing as in the water.
You okay,
A seal
Faith?
like Mitchie can quite easily outrun the average person up to a distance of 30 or 40 metres. And as I said, they are as
He's going
amazing
to jump. Watch.
on
Watch.
land as
Jump.
they are in the water. These animals are really fast. What Mitchie is going to show us now is a behaviour known as porpoising. And it's a way that a seal can get a quick breath of fresh air while travelling at high speed. That's right, you can hear him breathing as he exhales out. Now he needs that terrific speed because he needs to get away from big predators. The ocean can be a dangerous place, and apart from man's impact, a seal like Mitchie needs to be aware of big predators such as killer whales, and there is another one. Hopefully Mitchie will show us what it is. That's right, he's got to look out for sharks. Although Mitch is doing a great shark impersonation, what you're actually seeing is a natural behaviour that seals use when they need to cool down. Those fur coats are really good at keeping the heat in, but it's only those naked, hairless flippers that lets the heat out. And Mitch is going to show you any flipper will do. That was very quick. Apart from big whales, killer whales, and sharks, a seal like Mitchie and all our marine animals out there right now have just a bigger threat than that, and that is from man-made. It's different forms of plastics, pollution, fishing line and fishing net. Over 100,000 marine animals die every year from different forms of pollution. Now Mitch has gone out the back, found a piece of netting, which he uses to get people in the first row wet. But seriously, a piece of netting for an inquisitive and playful seal out in the wild can very quickly be a big problem for an inquisitive, playful marine animal. Very quickly they can become entangled, which stops them from being able to hunt for food. It can often embed in their neck, and worse still, they can drown. It's a very sad ending. That's right. Now, lucky for Mitchie, he has his trainer here that can remove that piece of netting, but hundreds of thousands of animals aren't that lucky out in the wild. So how do you think Mitchie's been going today? All happy with Mitchie? Yes? So he's going to head off home. We have another seal that's going to continue the show for us. Now this seal is a very different species of seal. He comes from the southern hemisphere. Guys, please put your hands together and welcome out Matt and his trainer Ryan. Now Matt is a very handsome New Zealand fur seal, and there's one thing that makes him stand out to Mitchie, and that's the fact that being a fur seal means that he has a double layer of fur, unlike sea lions where they only have one. Now Mav likes a good scratch around the head and the neck, especially when he's molting, he gets really, really itchy. Now he's very different to Mitchie, not only in size, colour and smell, but his vocal is very, very quiet. So I'm going to have to come across and join so he can vocalise into the microphone. Are we ready? Thank you, Mav. Getting close to those teeth is a little bit unnerving though, let me tell you. Now, speaking of teeth, earlier, Mitchie was showing you his shark impersonation. When seals aren't looking out for sharks themselves, they are really good hunters and predators. As you just saw, Mav has got really big teeth, which he doesn't use for chewing his food, I should mention. The fish goes down head first and whole. Always head first, that's so the scars and the spines don't get caught in his throat. Now, Mav at the moment has a healthy diet and on an average day can pack away around 6 kilos of fish. Now, while he might not spend too much time chewing that fish, let me tell you, as I said, he's got a great set of teeth, and I'm sure he'd like to show you those again. And with that great set of teeth, when he opens that mouth, there's a really bad stinky breath to match. That's right. Jokes aside though, a seal like Mav does need to keep himself well groomed, and that can be quite easy. And the reason for that is on his hind flippers, Mav has his own built-in 3-clawed brush. He's got 3 nails on that hind flipper, which he can use for scratching and grooming, and he can reach almost any part of his body. And the front flippers, they come in handy too for grooming, and that's because they're big, they're round and they're soft, so they actually make a really good face washer. We'll see, he's gone into slow rinse mode. Oh, we've seen that. Thank you. Yes, I think he does need a pack, even though he's done the wrong thing. He's actually, there we go. Yes, washing your face. Very important to wash your face after a big fishy meal. Now that Mav's been made a little bit more presentable, we're going to send him across to the front and show you something that seals rely on very, very heavily, and that is their whiskers. Now, the whiskers for seals are very, very important. For the next behaviour, though, we're going to ask for your help. If on the count of 3 we could all call out whiskers. 1, 2, 3.
Whiskers! Whiskers! Good girl, Phoebe.
Okay, we'll try that again. Oh. Slight delayed reaction there. We'll just leave it at that. Now, the whiskers of seals work very similar to our fingers. A seal can actually hunt for food at night and in dark and murky water where they don't rely on their eyesight. They actually rely on the whiskers. Now, the best thing to show you the movement or the ability he has with those whiskers is the ball balance. Now, there are no balls out in the wild. This is not a natural behaviour. They are trained to do this. But if you look at the whiskers, they're up and up around the ball, not holding the ball, just detecting in which way the ball is going to roll. Yes, he needs a lot of encouragement now, Matt. So with those whiskers, he can do the ball balance, he can catch, very good at catching, and even throw. Lovely work. What a good seal. Now, as I said, they use those whiskers when they're hunting for food. But right now, our marine animals are under a lot of pressure out in the wild, and it's all because of us. Right now, we are out fishing their waters at a phenomenal rate. So these seals really have to go long distances and be out at sea for long periods of time in order to hunt for their food and to find their food. So there's a way that we can all help our animals out there, our marine animals, and that is if you like eating a lot of seafood, the next time you go out and buy your fish, ask the fish owner, the shop that you go to, has the fish come from a sustainable source? We need to put pressure on the fishing industry, making sure that they're collecting the right fish, the right amount, and not overtaking the stock, because as I said, there's a lot of competition for our marine animals out there, and we can all make a big difference. Now, Matt is going to head out the back now. We've got another seal that's going to come out with Brad, and Brad's going to tell you how we look after our seals here at the zoo.
Thanks, Addie. Well, this here is little Maya, and Maya is a female Australian sea lion, and in my opinion, probably one of the prettiest seals you'll ever get the chance to see. Now, Maya was an orphan seal. She was found down on Kangaroo Island, which is off the coastline of South Australia. And as Addie was just saying, we need to take obviously the best possible care of our animals here in captivity, so we need to build up a really good relationship with them. That way we can get in nice and close and look after them to the best of our ability. And to show you just how easy